The Raiders bet hard on a young Joe Namath, Jimmy Garoppolo, of course, the handsome Joe Namath in the fur coat, and you got Jimmy G. Everyone knows, but it could pay out the same as a six-pick Prize Picks flex, which, as Jake knows, usually doesn't pay out at all because those are impossible to hit. But thankfully, it's a flex, so there's still a payout. Now, what am I talking about? So Jimmy Garoppolo failed his physical. He had foot surgery this past May, so during May last month. So it happened kind of quickly. But they signed Jimmy Garoppolo knowing he didn't have a past physical. And now if he still can't play, the NFL has a rule where the contract could be voided completely because they didn't know about the physical and they didn't know his passing. So the Raiders' full intention is that they're still starting Jimmy Garoppolo. But say in this flex, you're looking down the list to see what else is going to hit. And you got some other quarterbacks here. You got Brian Hoyer, who's been in the league. This is going to be his 15th year in the league. The last time he was a starter was in 2014 when he was with Cleveland. That didn't end so great, but that was the only year I think he was a full starter. Otherwise, he's been mainly a backup journeyman. But Jake, what do you think about that? Just first off, Hoyer did outlast Manziel. I mean, could have anyone predicted that 10 years ago?
He did, but no one could have predicted that. No.
I don't think so.
Hoyer has
Even if
always
you
been
thought
that.
Johnny Manziel was gonna bust, it's 10 years later, and oh yeah, Brian Hoyer, he might start. Like that's crazy. But
He's always been that journeyman. I mean, several different teams have all been that journeyman. So,
no, it's not a bad gig at all. You get paid $5 million a year to hold a clipboard most
yeah,
of the time. But this year he might not be, but he's got some competition. You got Chase Garbers, who's the listed third string right now. He is going to be a second year. He started at Cal in his college career. And then you have Aiden O'Connell, who's the really interesting one. In his later 2 years at Purdue, 2021 and 2022, we have the stats right here. He threw for over 3,000 yards. In 2021, he had a touchdown interception ratio of 28-11, and then 2022 a little worse, but still solid, 22-13. So Jake, if there's no Jimmy Garoppolo, what do the Raiders do? Because didn't they want to compete?
O'Connell.
I think so too. I think so too because you got to go with the kid. I mean, you could
Yeah,
think about Brian
see
Hoyer,
what he
but
has. See what he has.
so Brian Hoyer was decent a while ago, right? I know I talked about that Browns 2014 season, and they weren't great, but they were 7-9, so it's not like they were 2-14 or anything. He put up okay stats in place of Johnny Manziel, but we got to keep in mind that was 9 years ago also, and he has not played a lot since. He was okay on the Texans one year, I'm pretty sure, too. 2015, he was decent on the Texans. 2016, he went to the Bears and fell off a little bit. And then from here, he's just been kind of a backup. I think he could be decent. But there's the hurdle now that he's super old. So I think eventually, if there's no Jimmy Garoppolo, you've got to ride with the kid. I think he proved it. I have my stigma against Big Ten quarterbacks for sure, that a good Big Ten quarterback doesn't translate in the NFL, and that's been proven over and over. You got to be exceptional. So I'm not saying he's going to be great, but I think he's going to get his chance. I mean, poor Devontae Adams, right? He's got to be wondering, so I lost Derek Carr. We had some Brady rumors that didn't happen. We'll talk about later in the show. We had some Rodgers rumors. And now I'm stuck with some third stringers. But who knows? Maybe the Aiden O'Connell works out, but he's going to get a shot, definitely, if there's no Jimmy G.